Are you a priest? Do you want one? I walked down the steps of my 18-story apartment building with a synthesized voice echoing my thoughts. Once outside, it was decided that I should find myself a new road to pad my shoes upon, and since one can only reach a new road by first traversing the old roads that lead to it, I soon found myself flushed with familiar sights. There sat the new Fiat, parked in an otherwise empty and crumbling parking lot, where it always seemed to sit, with a contraption attached to its steering wheel so as to deter car thieves from plying their craft on this particular vessel. I also passed by a pasta house, where some of the best pizza in Florissant resides, where my friend used to work. Half a decade ago, I had ordered a whole artichoke off of their menu. Upon receiving my artichoke, I could not figure out which parts of it were edible. The pale green plant looked like it had been sitting in the storage since the restaurant first opened, so it heartened me to think that I had managed to attain one of those rare inaugural artichokes oft whispered of in fairy tales, and at such a small cost. Emerging briefly from my memories, I saw an employee of a fast food establishment taking his cigarillo break by the "Please place your order" sign, staring blankly at a woman in a minivan as she shouted, "Ketchup packets," into the intercom, eager to feed. Eventually, I made it onto the road I had sought, and it led me over the interstate, where I paused to watch the cars racing beneath my perch, like turtles caught in a current. Soon the wind willed me onward, and after a few miles more of sidewalk and parking lots, I discovered a pond surrounded on all sides by sodden mounds of muddy grass and goose noodles. The pond was man-made, as most suburban ponds I find seem to be. I wondered what it would be like to be an aquatic engineer who went around installing permanent puddles for a living. Shortly after, I came to another smaller, less pretentious pond. It had a chain-link fence around it, which I overleapt on my second attempt. A green-domed duck flew away from the pond's surface as two geese glided in. I stayed a while, staring into the brackish green water and the reflection of tree branches and telephone poles rippling on its surface. The geese made no remark upon my presence, nor did the plastic jug that bobbed alongside them. On my way back home, I began to really notice the smell. It was not limited to a single location. It was everywhere. No doubt the sogginess of the earth and the stuffiness of the clouds contributed. No doubt the litter on every street corner and in every storm drain contributed. No doubt the geese contributed. And no doubt the emerald-feathered duck did not contribute. Incensed by these scents, I sped onward, wanting the timid clouds above to open up and wash it all downward, into the soil, into the water supply. A young man in a parked car asked me if I smoked, and I said no. Once inside of my apartment's lobby, the smell went away. I saw a pair of elderly gentlemen playing rummy, and heard a grandmother laugh at her television. Wiping my wet shoes on the rug, I called an elevator down from the 6th floor. It arrived, and I went up.